Okay, we're gonna start off with a slight twist in the upper body. So hug your baby in nice and tight, and you're just twisting from the upper body and the shoulders. So you're not twisting from the lower abs. Stretching out the hamstrings, and just bring the neck forward and release the jaw. From here we're going to go into a down dog and just stretch up and loosen up the hips from rocking side to side and stretching out the calves just until it starts to feel comfortable. Take your time and just do some deep breaths here. Okay, going into a hip stretch. So just folding the leg over. You can lean forward or just stay upright depending on how big your belly is. Kick the leg up, and this is a great hip opener. You just push the leg back and you hug the belly into your spine. We're going to stretch the side here, so reach up and pulling through the obliques, keeping the leg nice and straight. To get a deeper stretch, put the arm down to the floor and look up. This is another great hip opener. It's called a lizard. So push the knee out and turn the toes out to the side as well. You can stay down with the chest facing the ground, or you can come up with your hands placed on the ground, depending on how you feel. So we're going to repeat this on the other side now. So just opening up the hips, breathe down into the belly, and slowly release. And kick the leg back and open up the hip again. And as you do, hug the baby nice and tight to your spine. This will protect you and your baby. To a warrior pose, and then stretch up and over, releasing the obliques and the upper back. For a deeper stretch, put your arms straight down, just hovering off the ground. And reverse. So back into a lizard on the other side. Again, if this is too deep, just keep your arms up straight. Focus on pushing the knee out, but not too far away. Back into a down dog. Again, just opening up the hips, taking your time here with every movement. Listen to your body. These are planks. So you're going to a down dog, into a plank, slight push-up to a half push-up. If you can't do a push-up, or if you're carrying too much weight in your front, just go from a down dog into a plank with straight arms, so you're not bending through the elbow. If you do feel strong enough, and this does feel good, then just follow what I'm doing. I'm going to do 10 reps here. Just keep stretching out the hamstrings, reaching up, leaning over, hug your baby nice and tight, and relax. We're going to go into some squats now. So hug your baby in tight before you go down. Toes turned out and knees turned out. You're going to go nice and slow. We'll do 10 reps here. Contracting the glutes and pushing the knees out with every rep. Good. Keep the baby hugged in tight. So lunge pulses here. Again, slightly turn the toe out, hug the baby in, and you're just pushing that back leg down to nearly touching the ground. Your front leg should just be coming over the toe. Keeping the chest upright, shoulders back. If you feel stable enough here, go into the one-legged lunge and reach. If not, just put that back leg on the floor and still reach out. Sumo stance, reaching out, and then you're just going to squat down nice and deep. I'm going to do some squats on the other side now. Again, hug the baby in before you go down, keep the chest up. Knees turned out and toes turned out. As you go down, keep pushing the knees out, and you should be controlling and activating the glutes through every rep. Perform 10 reps here. You're going to go into a lunge again. Set yourself up, hug your baby in. Knees going over the toe. Drop that back leg down. Keep yourself upright and glutes turned on. Hug the baby, chest up tight. Do 10 reps here. If you feel stable enough, go into that one-legged Superman pose. If not, just place that back leg on the ground so you stabilize yourself and reach your arms out in front. Stretch out that hamstring. Hold into this squat now. Activating the glutes, you should be squeezing the quads and the glutes here, and do 10 pulses. That's good. Slowly come into a down dog. Stretch out, take your time. Working out the hips, stretching the calves. You're going into some shoulder push-ups here. If you're not strong enough to do one leg up, because it's going to make it harder, just do both legs facing down into a push-up position. Halfway down, your head should be nearly touching the ground, just using your shoulders here. If you feel strong enough, definitely lift that leg up. It's going to make it harder. I'm going to go into some cat-cow now. It's really important here, before you move, zip your pelvic floor muscle up, hug your baby, and then go into the arch. And you're curling from the upper back. Don't overstretch here, just do what feels comfortable. So again, zipping up and reach one arm out, one leg. This is a great exercise for strengthening and stabling your back and stomach. Kick the leg back and point the toes. Point the arm out as far as you can. Hug the baby nice and tight to you. Take your time here. I'm going to do 10 each side. Before you go anywhere, stabilize the hips. Make sure one hip's not higher than the other. Hug the baby in, then reach the arm and leg out at the same time. And you want to you should be feeling it in the upper back and your glutes. So if someone was pulling on your arm and your leg. Into child's pose, make sure your legs are wide enough apart to fit your baby. And just do what feels comfortable. Hop into a side plank position from here. Bringing that leg in front is going to help stabilize you. Lifting up, and make sure you push your hip up to face the ceiling. You're going to hold for a count of 30 seconds here. Hugging the baby, pushing the hip up. Reach under and up. I'm going to count for 5 reps here. Reaching under and up. Keep pushing the hips up nice and high. Just have a little stretch in between. It's extremely important just to take your time and stretch as you need to. You are pregnant and you're carrying around extra weight, so do take your time. Again, holding up, push the hip up to the sky or the ceiling. Hug your baby in. Count to a count of 30, and then you're going to reach the arm up under, hug yourself, and back up again. Make sure those hips stay nice and high. If this is too hard for you, don't do the hug and just keep yourself up in that plank for a count of 30. We're going to sumo stance here. Enlace your fingers at the back, tip forward, and stretch out your shoulders, keeping your chest up and your shoulders pulled back. If that's too tight, then just do what I'm doing here and dangling forward, giving yourself a soft little hug. This feels great, and releasing the lower back. Come to one side and stretch up. Again, you're only twisting through the upper body, not through the stomach. Going into some plie squats here. So nice and wide, reach the arms up, push the knees out, go nice and deep. Hug the baby in. Take your time and do 10 reps here. Go as deep as you can every time, pushing the knees out. Good, just hold, do some arm circles. This will help release the shoulders from any tension while working the legs and the glutes, inner thighs. Good, just start stretching from side to side. Very important to stretch out your quads and hip flexors here. If you can do it without holding on to something, it's even better, because we do get off balance being pregnant, and it's good to help strengthen those small muscles that help keep us balanced. Stretch out the hamstrings, take your time. Go to the other side, stretching out the quad and the hips, pushing the hips forward as you pull the leg back. And then you're going to stretching out the hamstrings again. Just reaching up, opening up my chest. Back into a down dog. Down dog is an awesome position when you're pregnant. It just helps take that pressure off your belly. Gets a great stretch through the calves and the hamstrings. So going into some cat-cow again, make sure you're zipping up through the pelvic floor. Hug your baby. Don't overstretch here. Reaching the upper back up to the ceiling. Nice and slow, very important. Listen to your body. If it feels uncomfortable, don't do it. Do not overstretch. Make sure you are zipping up and holding in that pelvic floor muscle. These are a great exercise for building the abs, because you can't do ab exercises when you're pregnant, but this is one of those ones you can do. Sit back, reach up, don't let your bum touch your legs, and push your hips forward as you're coming up. Hug your baby nice and tight, just reaching your arms up to the ceiling, pushing the hips forward. Just stretching out my hamstrings again. After this, I'm going to go into a pose where you stretch out your shoulders. Some women feel very comfortable doing bridges when pregnant, some don't. So please listen to your body. I feel great from doing this one, but you may not. Make sure your hands are facing towards your bum, not away from you. You're going to lift your hips up and your chest. You can drop your head back. You just take your time with it. Again, don't do this if you're feeling any pulling through the hips or through the belly. But this feels very comfortable for me. But again, if it doesn't, come down lower and just stretch your shoulders in a lower position. From here, we'll drop the bum down. I'm going to go into some tricep dips. Hold the baby in tight and dip it down. Don't go too low. Your bum should be just hovering off the ground. Activating your triceps, so make sure you're squeezing, sort of pushing your hands down through the ground and out. Again, I just go into a little bit of a shoulder stretch from there. Put one knee on the floor, and then we're going to lift the leg up with the hand up nice and high. Reach back. If this feels comfortable, grab your leg. If not, just keep it out to the side. Keep the chest facing up. Good. Just going to reach over. Feel the obliques and the side of the stomach stretching. Again, repeat this on the other side. Stretch up over, point the toes. Lift the leg up, and then if it feels comfortable, go back and reach, grab your leg, and hold. Release and then go into another stretch, stretching the obliques and the sides of the stomach. Just going to release your calves here, pointing and flexing a few times. Shake out the legs. This is great hip openers here. So you're keeping the leg nice and straight and kicking it out to the side. You can reverse the direction. Try to keep your hips as straight as you can. You're just pushing the leg out to the side and around like a large circle. This was amazing for just opening up the hips. Just a slight stretch into a hamstring. If you feel comfortable doing this, just come up to one leg, holding the abs in, kicking back. You should be pushing back towards the hips with your arms to help stabilize you. Repeat this on the other side. Hug your baby in before you make any movements. Get yourself into place. If it feels comfortable, lift your leg up off the ground and hold yourself nice and tight. And you can go into a one-legged squat. If not, just keep that back foot touching on the floor. Lean forward and stretch out the hamstrings.